Alright, what's good guys? Welcome to my YouTube video, and today I am doing a tier list for Brawl Arena. I played Brawl Arena for pretty much, I'd say I have 8 hours of gameplay already. I've grinded the hell out of this, and I think I can give you guys the best and worst characters for you to play, which ones you should be picking, which ones you shouldn't be picking, and overall, how the game mode works. So, let's get into it. Starting out in the F tier, we have the worst characters in the game. These ones you should never play under any circumstance. They provide nothing for you. They do nothing. Never play these brawlers. They suck. They are useless. Starting in at the bottom F tier, we have Willow. Willow's a thrower, which most throwers in this game are really bad in Brawl Arena, but Willow's easily the worst. Her super does nothing, basically. It's super hard to hit because of all the bots in the way. And she just sucks. She has no instant damage. Nani, pretty much insane at single target damage, but her ammo or reload speed is super slow, and it's kind of hard to hit shots in this game mode. Sandy just doesn't do enough damage, I think. He has good control properties, but, you need the damage. He just gets outclassed by, a lot of characters at the top of the list in every single way. Stu's at the bottom of F tier because you can't get shots in consistently, which means you can't get dashes, and your damage is too low to actually do anything. Sprout. You just run at him, he dies, there's nothing you can do. The wall's not good here, even for hypercharge damage. Jean, pretty solid in concept, but in execution he's pretty bad. Pulls are nice, but most of the time you're going to be pulling robots, which don't do anything. And Poco. Poco could be good, I think, but he's just not good because you don't... I think characters that can also hold their own and provide support are easily some of the best characters in this game mode. Poco cannot hold his own. And then we have Meeple. I think his reload speed is just too slow and his utility is pretty bad. And that's the F tier. Moving on into the D tier, these characters are pretty bad, but they have one or two things that you could get use out of. If you can get away with playing them, and I don't think anyone would care. So starting out at the bottom of D tier, we have Mr. P. Mr. P's damage is too low. He's too easy to run at, and porters aren't that much of a problem here. Grom, you run in at him, he's dead, but his damage is actually pretty good, so you can get away with it sometimes. Barley. Barley's damage isn't that good, but his control's really nice in this mode. He's one of the few characters. He's one of the few characters that you can actually get control with, and they feel very strong with it, which makes him actually somewhat valuable, but only in those situations. Like in lane, you're still cooked. Dynamite, just a high damage thrower. He can carry any game. So, of course, he can carry a brawler in a game. It's just really tough, too. Gray, only use him for teleporters. Most characters don't need them. So, that's why he's at the bottom of D tier. Rosa, in concept, you'd think she'd be pretty good. But just like every other tank can just blow her up, even through shield. Which just isn't that good. Miko's actually pretty good, on the other hand. But the problem is, if you had both of his star powers at the same time, he'd be ridiculous. Because it's either you actually have pretty good damage against towers, or you're good at getting kills. But you can't ever do both of them. Gus just doesn't have enough damage to win lanes on his own, which is all he really needs to do. Because his shields are actually pretty useful for the damage bonus. Chuck, I think the problem with Chuck is he takes too long to set up, and other characters can just do what he does but better. Tick is probably a bottom F tier, except for the fact his hypercharge does 40k, I feel like, which is insanely busted. Pearl's heat charge is just too slow in this mode to be viable. I don't think anyone should ever play Pearl, I'm gonna be honest. Mortis, shading supers is fun. It's kind of hard to make him work in Brawler in it because of all the spawns, though. It's just a tough time. And then Fang has nice potential, but he's just really hard to play, especially into some of the top characters. He's super easy to outskill, and I don't think anyone should realistically try and do anything with him in a game. He's just not worth playing. Moving on into the C tier, these characters actually have one or two decent uses, but are just outclassed by every character above on this list, and there's just no reason you should play them ever. Ever. At the bottom, we have Meg. Meg, in concept, is another really good brawler, but the problem is her attacks are literally too fat to get use. You just cannot consistently deal max damage with her attacks, but just due to the constant pressure she can give, that could give her an advantage. But she still sucks, so, yeah. In the same kind of band, we have Nita. She's good, but, you have to be snowballed, and it's not that useful. Surge, I don't think I need to explain why Surge is here. I mean, he's good at 1v1s, but his game mode isn't always about 1v1s, especially when bots are around. Twins, I think Twins are actually pretty underrated in this mode, but they're a little bit too gimmicky for most people that actually try to make it work, which is one of the biggest downsides of him. Bonnie, she's good. Like, her all-ins are good. It's just kind of hard to get supers. That's their problem. Primo, pretty good tank 1v1er, but just like you get blown up too much in this mode to actually try and play him. B, and good for like 1v3ing, but not when bots are around. I think the bots are the biggest killer of her. If she can get shard shot though, she's lethal. Bull, insanely high damage, insane base race potential. The problem, if you get stopped at all, you're dead. If you get behind at all, you're probably not going to win the game. Same thing for Dale as well. They're basically the same character in this. Janet, C tier. She honestly could be borderline D or F tier. Actually, I'm being very generous here. Her laning's good. Her damage is just absolutely useless, though. Everything else about her is decent, but her damage just is so bad. If you get snowballed, though, she actually can be pretty infuriating to fight, which means she has potential. Up to the top half of C tier, we have Pam. Pam's actually pretty good in this mode. There's not much to explain why. It's just, you know, she can have decent damage. Her healing's nice. Scrap Sucker's broken, and that's it. Sam, great damage potential. The problem is you have to play Sam. If you're good at Sam, I actually think he's very good here. But maybe not when, you know, there's Clancy's and Griff's running around blowing your head off. That's a little hard to... That's a big ask to make work when you're playing Sam. Shade, he honestly could be good. The problem is abusing walls in this mode is really hard. And that's his biggest downfall. Ollie and Shirley, I think, are pretty much the same character here, where their team utility is insane. The problem is their individual utility kind of sucks, and their damage is bad. So they have nothing they can really do for themselves, but if they set up for a team, it's insane. They have a lot of potential. Cord, good at isolating 1v1s. It's good, especially because there's no bots in there, but the problem is you're in the Shadow Realm, and that wastes a lot of time for both you and your team. Angelo, very high damage. Only on single targets, though. I don't need to explain why he's that low. Eve, kind of the same thing. But it's more also her spawners just kind of don't ever get used. Because they're just attacking bots the whole time. And that's one of the big problems with a lot of spawners on this list. Is, yes, some are good. But most of the time they're going to be attacking not what you want them to. I think the only time I've seen someone attack something stupid and get away with it was Anita using Bear With Me to attack a jungle camp from across the map. Which, like, constantly healed her. It was infuriating, but we still beat it, so it didn't matter. Otis, great at shutting down tanks. Insanely good if you're ahead, but if you're behind, this character just does nothing. Dog, insane buffs. You can get a lot of buffs with him, but, like, that's it. That's really it. Moving on into the B tier. These characters are actually pretty good. They're just maybe not the top of the tiers. You can get outclassed pretty easily, but they still have a lot of good potential. And if you play them, it's not a throw pick, and you're still probably have at least 50% winning chance, even if they're playing top meta characters. Starting off, we have Kit. Kit's pretty good. His damage is really high, and you can do a lot of crazy support things with Kit. The problem is you're not going to get any value of Brawler in it, especially solo queue, so I wouldn't recommend it. Kaze, great at 1v1s, and that's enough to give her B tier, because she actually excels at them here. The problem is, with bots are in the way, and with all the chaos that happens, especially with like ganks and 2v1s and triple lanes, it makes her a tough ask to actually make work. And her objective taking is very bad. Finks is actually pretty good in this mode. You can really just win lanes by just playing a slow game, getting consistently high damage shots out, well-timed gadgets, amazing supers. The problem is, if you make one mistake, Finks feels pretty bad. Juju's one of the best throwers in this mode just because she can do so much distraction. That honestly just gives her the edge to be this good. That's it. She's just very annoying. Buster, very good tank. You can just grab people and take them out. Support utility is pretty nice. That's all I can really say about him. Mo's actually pretty good. I thought he'd be like DF tier, honestly. But his damage is good enough to make work. His all-ins are actually insane, but that's it. If you can't play Mo well, the character honestly might be D or F tier. It's that bad. It is genuinely that bad. Lou, I'm gonna say B tier. I put Lou in the B tier because I think his utility with slows, hypothermia, stuns is insane in this mode, especially when bots are in the way. The problem is you're going to be hitting bots most of the time. If you could not hit bots all the time, he'd be A, maybe even S tier, but the problem is the bots are just too annoying to actually make him good. Max, insane team potential. Actually, she has enough damage to where she can solo carry. So, if you get snowballed on Max, you're like unkillable if you're good at the character. If you're bad at Max, do not touch this character with a 10-foot pole. You will regret it. Squeak is one of the more underrated brawlers I've seen. His damage is pretty good, actually. His lanes are insane. You can get a lot of value in lane with him. And a lot of the best characters in the game you can actually beat consistently, except maybe Kenji and Jackie. But every other character is fair game, honestly. Byron, good healing and damage. It's a struggle, but he's good. Both star powers and both gadgets are insane. His build potential is amazing. It just depends on your comp. If you have a good comp, he might be A tier, honestly. And I put her in B tier. She honestly at times feels like A S tier and then like C D F tier. It's really just, can you get snowballed and can you stay snowballed? If you stay snowballed on imps, you cannot approach her. If you approach her, you're dead. It's over. But if you can't approach her and take her down before it's too late, she's useless. And she's like a 2v3. Hank! It's kind of weird. His damage is good, but getting approaches on him is really hard. But if you can, the character's amazing. Gale, pretty much just Finks, but he can slow. That's why I gave him a little bit of the edge. Frank, good tankiness, but like that's it. And usually in this meta, that's not enough. But just because he can stun, he probably is good enough for B tier. Jessie's one of my least favorite characters in this mode. Just because her turret and her bounce shots are super annoying with the bots. But in reality, she's not that scary. Spike just has high enough damage and good enough slows to give him B tier. That's it. Same for Colette. For utility, just Colette in modes like this, it's always going to be at least B tier, if not better. Shelly's pretty good, actually. I like Shelly a lot here. The problem I've had with her is if you get caught out, you're always dead. Riku is just like a bootleg DPS here. There's other DPS that just do better than him. The only cool thing he has is bounce shots, but they're almost never viable. So that's why he's B tier. Draco, good damage if you can survive. Good run and down potential. But other than that, the character just sucks. Don't play him. Lily's actually good and high, so she's going to be good here. You can get kills insanely fast and insanely quickly. And her damage on towers is amazing. You can also get a lot of guaranteed damage with just your gadget, either going in, getting damage, and gadgeting out, or gadgeting in to not have to waste any time walking up, and then just doing a bunch of melee damage. Ridiculously good character. Brock, insane for wall breaks, insane in outrange. That's it, though. If he gets behind, he sucks. He is terrible. And then Bo, that's a very solid heist character, so that's why he's B tier. He can do it just a lot. He can control the map with his wall breaks. He can get a ton of damage on the towers with his mines and tripwire, but that's it. And because of that, he's at the very top of B tier, honestly borderline A tier, which of course finishes off the B tier. Moving on into the A tier, we have some of the best characters in the game. These characters can do a lot of things very well. Insane, but they still can lose consistently, and they're not the strongest thing ever. They're still very much beatable. At the very bottom of A tier, we have Doug, which is one of the biggest surprises of this whole list. Doug is insanely good if you can just sneak around, get kills on tanks, get kills on unsuspecting people. Think of Jackie, which you'll see later, unfortunately. But instead of having CC, he can revive himself. You can just sometimes get on the tower and just bash that thing for days. And you just keep on respawning, keep on getting damage. It's ridiculous. The character's insane, honestly. I think try him out. If you get a good matchup, he's broken. Barry, good healing. One of the best support options in the game. Getting on tower is nice because you can get a lot of guaranteed damage for free. That's it. Liam, if you're sneaky, this character's amazing. You just consistently get kills here, there, and everywhere. And then you're snowballed, and then you can do whatever you want. And the character feels unstoppable. Penny, I had her at S tier originally. The reason she's so low now is because you could stop her very easily, especially if she's not on Barrel and she's on the other gadget, which is only good late game. But she still, her turret's insanely annoying and gets a lot of free damage, so you can't just, like, ignore her. Maisie, actually shockingly good. Her damage against minions and in lane isn't that good, but in mid she functions as a decent character, and her hyper is insane at shredding. You can do like 25% to a tower with one hyper. It's disgusting. Chester, just a good character. His hyper is broken. That's all he needs, really. There's not much to say about him. Amber, very high damage. If you get a hyper, it's a guaranteed team wipe, honestly. You can clear like a whole wave with it too. Her spammy gadget's insane for jungling, especially early in the game. She just has everything. And same for Tara. Her damage might be a bit lower, but her pull is just so hilariously busted. You play her a lot here. BB. BB gets hard countered the most though by a lot of the top tiers, but if you can let her run, she can run away with the game. RT, I mean, RT's very good. The best thing he can play in lane very well against like top tiers, and you cannot. It's hard to lane a good. If he's hitting all the shots, the character's insane. And then when he actually goes into his like tank form, he's unstoppable. You can one-shot most characters in the game before they can one-shot you. And the biggest thing that holds back RT is just he's too hard to play. A lot of people don't know how to play him. Belle's A tier just because she's one of the best anti-carries in the game. If you see like a Melody or like a Clancy or like a Jackie that's trying to farm your team, put a mark on them. Their day is ruined. If you're ungrounded, their day is even worse. The character is amazing at anti-carries. Solo carrying not as much. Her lane's good just because of the bounces. That's it. Carl, insane DPS. Good super, especially against tanks. You're good at taking towers. Basically one of the best tower takers in the game. Now it'd be a shame if another character could do the same thing, but do triple the damage. We'll get to that later, unfortunately. Piper, just a good sniper. If you hit shots, she's broken. As always. There's not much to say. Colt, very high damage. Again, not much to say. He's just overly high damage. 8-bit gives a Colt tier damage, but also support options, which combined with high tiers is just a bloodbath. You can just melt towers, melt players, melt camps at breakneck speeds. It feels unbeatable. Next we have Lola. Lola's damage, very good. Getting set up's hard, but once you're set up, this character feels unstoppable. It is insane. Her damage is so high, and while you're not going to be top fragging like all the time, her damage is still really good. You can't ignore Lola, especially because of how much HP and healing she can have. She's ridiculous. Jaeyoung doesn't feel like he'd be A tier, but his utility is insane. His damage is actually pretty good, and his healing's actually nerfed. It's that good. His healing is that good that they nerfed it, and he's still insane. And then he has his damage gadget, so like, screw you too. And his extra high note star power actually gets used here. He is amazing. Do not get it twisted. He is ridiculously strong. Edgar's good. He's good. Go the healing star power. You can like win every 1v1 in the game, like I said, against like 2 or 3 characters. Get it. If he's ahead, he can stomp if you play him right. And then at the top of A tier, we have Ashe. Insanely high damage. Rats are amazing. Hyper's insane for farming damage on towers and just getting kills. And his heal gadget scales with your max health. Do I need to explain why that's overpowered? A lot of characters, especially the high tiers, their HP and their like healing abilities do not scale with their HP. Doug's doesn't. Bears, I think, does. Tara's doesn't. BB's doesn't. Meg's doesn't. Lola's doesn't. I don't think. Actually, hers might. I don't know. Ashe's does. Why? No one knows. And that's enough to give him at the top of A tier. He's borderline S tier. Next, we have the S tier. These are the best characters in the game. If you want to carry, all these characters are very strong. But again, they're not invincible. But they're by far the best picks in the game. Starting off, the bottom S tier, we have Mandy. And a lot of, especially if you've seen Mandy, like, why is Mandy in the S tier? Mandy's like a D tier. No, she is not. Mandy is one of the best picks in the game right now. She gives you an alternate win condition in this game, which is one of the most valuable things you can have. Because now, you can play defense for the whole game and win. Because if you break their tower, the Mandy can kill in 10 supers. Which you can get 10 supers in like 5 minutes. If you're good at the game. If you get a push going, that's even more. Her hyper directly on top, 30%. She can do 20% to, like 10% to the towers by just using a super. Yeah, it's about 10% in I think. By just using a super and hitting both towers if they're both active. Insanely busted character if you play her right. If you're bad at Mandy, you might struggle. Next we have Jackie. Jackie's very good. Do not get her wrong. If you get shut down by tanks, she does suck, but if you get rolling, this character is insanely busted. You just pop gadget, run to the person, pull them in, get a free kill. There's nothing you can do. Her HP is way too high. She's beatable, but God, it sucks to find a good Jackie. Next up, we have Griff. Insanely high DPS. That's it. Like, his damage is just really good. His damage is good. You can get wall breaks, which is good against, like, Jackie. Especially on Mirage Arena. Griff's pretty good, especially if you play him right. But even not, his defense is ridiculous. Next up, we have Kenji. I think Kenji could argue to be the top of S tier, but I think a better player on the next character, you probably have seen her anyway, is better than Kenji. But one of the big things about Kenji is his reload speed increases per level, which is insane. At high levels, this character basically never stops attacking. Combine it with his super, which is insane. Combine it with his hyper, which is just guaranteed kills. You can see why this character is insane. Also, he heals off basically everything in this game, just to make it even better. And at the top of S tier, we have Melody. Insane carry, insane jungler. She's a character that in the original game, or base game, if you outskill someone, you're always just going to win the 1v1. Take a guess how that exponentially increases because of how Brawler Arena works. Amazing character. But we're not done yet. The SS tier is for the two best characters in the game by far, with one above that, or with one of them being above that bar so much. She might even deserve her own tier, but I'm not going to do that because that's bad video. At the number 2 spot, we have Clancy. If you get gold and you get rolling, this character's insane. His burst damage is ridiculous. You can all in on a tower, do like 80% just for free. I don't know why that's a thing, but you can do that. It's ungodly busted, but you can do that. I don't know why. Clancy is a must pick in this game mode. You get it. He's useless until you get him silver, where he like does things, and when he's gold, he's even better. But like, he's just an unstoppable force. If he's in mid, just running around in mid, there's like nothing you can do. He's just gonna grab kills, snowball, and you're dead. At the top of the SS tier, we have Lumi. Lumi is insane. Lumi is ridiculously busted right now. A must pick for sure. Her lane, she's basically unbeatable in a 1v1, even 2v1, even 3v1. Her slow's way too strong. You can't approach her, and she can get damage on tower for free very easily, even if no one's there to shoot her. That is no minion to shoot for the like tower shoot. You would still just throw a Morning Star, walk in, throw another one, pull them both back. You do full damage. Oh my God, this character is hilarious. I pushed her to 2K on day 1, and I was the 22nd person to do it. Do you want to know why that's a problem? 22 2Ks on day 1. And I'm just talking about Lumi. She is by far the best character in this mode. If you want a solo carry, play Lumi, learn how she works. You're going to be a solo admin. And that's the video. So ask me, what do you think I should change in the comments? I think a lot of these are up for debate. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you like. Deuces.